British Columbia is covered in forests. From her forests come the trees that form the foundation for 35% of her primary industry and 40% of her secondary industry. As the forests are harvested, they must be renewed and managed to sustain production. In today's managed forests, the trees are treated as a rotating crop, and just as gains have been made in agriculture through intensive farming, similar gains can be attained through intensive forest practice. But the foundation for all her forests comes from a seed, and our goal is to build a better seed. In the past, we've relied mainly on the slow process of natural regeneration of the forests. Today, we give our seedlings the advantage of intensive nursery culture. These trees are then planted out on prepared sites. As they grow, they are thinned, fertilized, and then harvested at maturity, and the cycle begins again. Thus, at present, the Forest Service is utilizing intensive forest practice tools to maintain and boost productivity as the land base shrinks due to our growing population. This increase in population requires much of the prime forest land for towns, rights-of-way, farms, and hydroelectric development. But we must do better yet, and the key is the seed. If we can work towards improving the seed through genetics, then when we harvest our crop, we will reap the rewards of a better forest. When we gather wild seed from the forest, we're taking a risk. We can choose a good-looking tree as the mother, but the pollen that fertilizes her seed is carried to her by the wind, so we do not have control of who the father is. Since the seed carries on some of the characteristic genes of both parents, we would like to ensure that only good fathers are used as well. If the unknown father is a poor tree, poor seed will result. And if the seed is poor, then no amount of careful growing, planting, thinning, or fertilizing will produce a top-quality tree at maturity. To gain some control, we can establish seed orchards. These orchard sites are carefully screened to strict specifications to protect our investments in the program and to produce abundant seed. They also require a large water supply and accessibility to essential services. These locations must be in warmer, sunnier regions to promote large and frequent cone crops. Once the site has been chosen, it is prepared and planted with young trees. These trees are started by collecting live twigs from plus trees and either grafting them on to compatible rootstocks or by rooting them. These grafted or rooted portions will grow into trees with the genetic coding of the plus tree from which they were taken. When the orchards begin producing, pollen is taken from these trees, and spraying devices may be used to help the wind distribute the pollen across the orchard to ensure desired pollen reaches the receptive cones. In this way, the seed produced will come from selected parents. Continual breeding and planting trials are then carried out on this seed, and if deficiencies show up, then the parents can be traced. In this way, the orchards are also a rotating crop of trees. Poor parents can be recognized, removed, and replaced. As cross-breeding tests provide information and improved stock. A number of these orchards are now established around the province, but more will be needed to match the demand for the high-quality seed they produce. Working together, silviculture and research branches analyze district planting requirements and take steps to ensure a supply of high-quality replacement stocks, and work on developing stock to use in high elevation and other sites in need of reforestation. As more seed orchards come into production, they will provide genetically superior seed, which will meet these requirements. Thus, through the use of intensive forest practice, yield can be increased with the tools of good nursery practice, good planting, thinning, fertilizing, and genetics, which, acting through the improvement of the seed itself, has an overall influence. When we look at the cost of the seed compared to the total investment we have in each tree, it proves to be a small percentage. Yet it is one of the most important steps in producing a high-yield tree. So we know the potential is there, and our target is to build a better seed by the time today's trees are harvested.